Hi all, my name is Ollie, this is Simply Stitchy, and today's video we're going to be looking at presser feet, what they are and what they do. Let's get into it. Now, regardless of whether you've got a modern machine or an antique machine like Grandma here, you're going to have a presser foot. Now, there are various different types of presser feet which we'll go into in a little while, but first of all let's take a look at just what exactly a presser foot refers to. This is your presser foot, this bit right here that's attached to the presser foot bar with, well, in Grandma's case it's a thumb screw, and it's controlled by the presser foot lever that lifts it up and down. Modern machines work in exactly the same way. Here's your presser foot, and it's controlled by the presser foot lever, which isn't always in the same place on all machines, but it's always going to be either to the side of the presser foot or at the back. Now, what your presser foot actually does is when you've got your fabric underneath your foot like that and you lower the lever, the foot actually presses down on the fabric. It enables the fabric to go underneath the foot and thereby across the top of the feed dogs flat, so that it just gives you a more even line of stitching. Now, on some machines like Grandma here, you can adjust the pressure that presser foot pushes down onto your fabric with. On Grandma it's this little knob on the top of the presser foot bar, that one. On Janome, it's right here, it's this little knob just there. Not all sewing machines have got a handy little knob that allows you to change the pressure of the presser foot. I was today years old when I found out that the Singer Simple doesn't have a handy little button to change the pressure on the presser foot, so it's pretty much going to be the same pressure whatever fabric you sew on. It's because of the ability on some machines to be able to adjust the pressure with which it pushes down on the fabric with that leads to some people calling it the pressure foot. I do it sometimes, I just slip, especially if I've got too many P's in my sentence like that last one. I had to really think about that one. Pressure on your presser foot. You try it 3 times, really quick. You're probably wondering why it's a pretty cool thing to be able to change the pressure that the presser foot pushes down on your fabric with. The thing is, depending on what kind of fabric you're actually working with, it can actually be pretty useful. Say for instance, you've got a really slippy fabric which is doing all this business as you're trying to sew in a straight line. By putting a bit of extra pressure on your foot and pushing it down just that little bit more, it makes it go over the feed dogs with a little bit more control. And if you've got a fabric you're trying to sew and you've checked your threading, you've checked your bobbin and you've changed your needle I don't know how many times, and it's still puckering, you'll probably find it's because the pressure on your presser foot is too high. So by turning it down or reducing it, you'll find that your fabric goes under your presser foot so much better. When talking about presser feet, you'll hear 2 terms, high shank and low shank. And what those 2 terms refer to is the level on the presser foot bar where the actual foot attaches. Most modern machines tend to be low shank. It's not the case with all of them, so it's a good idea to be able to recognise if you've got a low shank machine like Janome and the Singer Simple, or a high shank machine. To find out whether yours is a high shank or low shank, it's pretty simple. All you have to do, lower your presser foot so it's sitting on top of the feed dogs, grab your tape measure and measure from the middle of the screw that's holding it onto the sewing machine to the bed of the sewing machine and see what it comes out at. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but on Janome it's looking at about 1/2 inch. So he's a low shank machine. If the distance between this screw here and the base of the machine was, say, 1 inch, then you'd be looking at a high shank machine. It's important to know if your machine is high shank or low shank, because obviously it makes purchasing extra feet a lot easier, because you know that they'll be able to fit on whatever machine you've got. Antique machines and many vintage machines have a presser foot that's all in one with the shank. If we take a look at this one, for instance, this is the zigzag foot from my Singer Stylist 476. As you can see, this bit is the presser foot and this bit is the shank that attaches it to the machine. To change the foot, what you do is you undo the thumb screw on the side and put it off like that. So it comes off in one unit. And then to change it over, you just grab the new foot, pop it on and just tighten up the screw. Now, although that foot doesn't actually belong to Grandma, it works perfectly fine with her. I used it in a recent video on how to sew a lavender pillow. I sew piping all the way around. I'll put a link to that in the description box below. Modern machines like Janome and the Singer Simple have what's known as snap-on feet, which basically means that all you have to do is push a lever on the back of the presser foot and the foot just drops off. See? And it's just the foot. The shank stays on the machine, and it works the same way on the Simple, and it's got a slightly different lever. Another great thing about these machines is that these are interchangeable. This is a Janome, this is a Singer. This is the foot from the Janome. I'll just get the foot from the Singer out of the way for a moment. You literally just put it underneath the presser foot, line it up with the shank and just push, oops, push down until that little hook hits the foot, which I can't do because I'm back to front. There you go. And then it just lifts. So this is the standard foot off a Janome, which fits perfectly on a Singer, and it works the other way around too. Now, different presser feet will help you do different tasks. In fact, there's pretty much a foot for most sewing activities, and having the right one will make your sewing life so much easier. This one, for instance, is a darning foot, or better known these days as a free motion quilting foot. You can buy sets of feet like this one, and it contains all the most popular of presser feet. And these sets fit most of the top brands of sewing machine. Not all of them though. You have to be really careful and check your own machine. As a general rule, Bernina, Husqvarna and some of Brothers high-end machines don't take generic feet. So if you're in any doubt at all, check your manual and check with the manufacturer of your particular machine to see if it's able to take generic feet, because you might find, as in the case of some Berninas, you're limited to the brand specific accessories. Okay, if we just have a close-up on this set for a moment. You can get these sets from most places. What I'll do for this one is I'll put a link in the description box below so that you know where to get them. It'll be an Amazon affiliate link because obviously I'm an Amazon affiliate. It doesn't cost you any more than the price of the item if you use that link, and you don't even have to use the link. As I say, you can get these from pretty much most sewing accessory places, but if you do use the Amazon link that's in the description box below, you help me out and it's appreciated. Okay, These little kits, they come with a list of the feet that are included. It's even got a handy list of names on the back so that you can match the picture to the name so that you know which foot you're dealing with. It's got, oops, put it up so you can see it. There's a walking foot, there's a buttonhole foot, there's a zigzag foot just here. There you go. And there's also, depending on what kind of machine you've got, usually these kits come with adapters. Now what this is an adapter that changes the all-in-one feet, like the ones you get on Grandma, to snap-on feet. And I'll show you how that works on Grandma. Okay, so here's Grandma. She's still got the zigzag attachment on from the 476 at the moment, so I'll just take that one off. Put that over there. Grab the snap-on adapter, pop it on here, and then just do the hole up. And I've lost the hole, there it is. Just do the hole up, just do the screw up even. I worry about my brain sometimes. Right, so that's on. Now if we grab the zigzag foot, pop it under, and there you go. Grandma is now wearing a snap-on foot. What we're going to do next is just press the foot down and gently with hand wheel just wind it through a few times just to make sure that needle clears the foot, which it is doing perfectly well. I hope you liked today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Why not go and check out some of the other videos on my channel using these links coming up any minute now. Why not subscribe to my channel and click the little bell so that YouTube can keep you notified whenever I upload another video. That way you won't miss any of the fantastic content. In the meantime, whichever video you go and check out next, I hope to see you back here for the next one. Whatever you're sewing it with, embrace your creativity and have fun. Thank you ever so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.